Wednesday night, we start with Big 12 championships. It's a very important meet for us, very important meet for the other teams in it. For some of our swimmers, it's the last meet of the year because at this point in their career, they are not fast enough to make NCAAs. And with hard work and so forth, we're going to get there. Wednesday night starts with 2 relays and a diving event. It's takes about an hour and a half, a great night to start the meet with. TCU has a fairly new coach, James Winchester, and they are getting better every year. Vic Riggs has been at West Virginia for a number of years now, and they are very solid. And as I said before, this meet is important to all of us. Most of us have been training since early September, 20 hours a day, 20 hours a week. That 20 hours a day won't go over big at the NCAA, but 20 hours a week for a lot of weeks and a lot more over Christmas training. So you have a lot of man hours coming to play in the hopefully very successful meet, honestly, for everybody in the meet. For a swimmer, the key to success is going faster. We're not like a team sport where everybody on the team can get better and they may not win. In our sport, we can all get better and we can see it because of the time. You got that electronic scoreboard up there. I do want you to realize that if you've ever watched the Olympics, swimming is one of the biggest drawing events. It is the most contested event. And we are the best at it. So we feel like in our country that swimming is hardest training and we're at the pinnacle of competition. In other words, everybody in our sport is good, they're well trained, and it makes competition better. So if you can be successful in our country in this sport, it says a lot for the individuals that do the sport.
Why isn't it more popular the other 3 years, do you feel like? Is it just the patriotism thing and the pageantry of the Olympics?
You know, the question is, why isn't it more popular in the 3 years in between the Olympics? And I'm not sure anything is. Some things get more publicity, some sports, but for the most part, Olympic years are big for every sport. And we just don't do well publicity-wise because not many people understand us, and that's our own fault. Because last year, for example, we lost 5 dual meets. Who wants to come see the team that's going to eventually be first or second in the NCAAs lose 5 dual meets? What does that mean? Football and basketball and baseball, everybody's got to win everything. All we have to do is win at the end. And so there are other things you have to look for.
What would you do to make it more popular?
What would we do to make it more popular? You're really talking to the wrong guy on that. I am not that kind of thinker. In fact, I have no ideas on that. I just worry about trying to get them to go faster.
What percentage of your team is looking for this as the final meet, perhaps? And is it like 10%? Is it like 90% looking at the NCAAs?
The percentage of my team that is looking at the Big 12s as a end of a career meet is probably about 15%, something like that.
Is it easy to take for granted the Big 12 meet when you've won 14 national championships in 4 in a row?
Is it easy to take the Big 12 meet for granted? I really don't take anything for granted. I put the strongest lineup together that I can put together for that meet, because I have been around when I've seen teams lose meets they shouldn't have lost because they took them easy or started easy and could never catch up. I just don't want that on my mind. I wouldn't sleep for years and months after that if I did that. So I never take a chance on that. And for a lot of my team, Big 12 is important to make the qualifying time for NCAAs and find out where they are. That's the key. That way I've got 4 weeks from this coming Wednesday to make the final preparations for NCAAs and supposedly get it right.
You've won 4 in a row and 14 overall and runner-up 11. Does that kind of make you the Bill Belichick of swimming?
Due to our winning and top 3 finishes in Big 12, does that make me the Bill Belichick of swimming? Actually, he looks so much better in a gray sweatshirt than I do that I could never match up. Football is totally different. I mean, we're trying to compare apples and grapes. I mean, that's such a, they made that ball oblong so it would bounce funny. Sometimes it just doesn't bounce right for them. His record is incredible. Anybody that has that kind of success at that level is definitely ahead of the other coaches. And I don't feel like I'm ahead of the other coaches.
Why would you not feel that way?
Why would I not feel that way? Because I'm still learning. I'm still trying to get better. It's the only reason I'm in it. Because I know somewhere out there I'm going to learn what really works.
You like to change up stuff, keep stuff fresh, motivate, incentivize. Anything you did this year specifically for this team? Your new bag of tricks?
I like to change my program 10 to 25% a year. And last year we changed it so much that I was worried about them all year. We just did too much in the weight room, too many hard things. And this year, one of the changes was to drop that. And probably the past 5 years, we've warmed up with 1 lap butterfly kicks. That's the underwater kick that separates the great from the good in our sport. And we used to do 20 to 32, 25s every day in practice. And I felt like we reached the end of what that could do for us. So I went to 5 200s every day in practice. And we have made very, very nice, actually I like the word monumental progress in that. Holding our breath and kicking. When the underwater fly kick first came out, they did studies comparing the amount of lactate that holding your breath and staying underwater created versus swimming on the surface. And swimming on the surface creates more lactate, so earlier fatigue. So underwater, if you can get used to holding your breath, and for any swimmers that are listening to this, don't work on holding your breath without somebody watching you in the water, or do it sitting in a chair. Don't do it in the water. Now, you know, after hearing all this stuff, everybody in here can coach. So you've moved up to what I call the parental level.
Give me a swimmer or two that's come the furthest for you this year.
Oh, my goodness. We've got a lot of, the question is, who's made the greatest improvement for us this year? And honestly, we're not going to know that until the Big 12's over. There are 4 or 5 guys that I've asked different guys on the team, who is going to be the surprise at Big 12? And we've gotten 4 or 5 names back. And I've got 2 of those names myself. And I just think those will be the guys that have, if they surprise you, they've come the greatest distance. I'm not going to give you any names. Not going to put that burden on them.
Is there anybody that you need to give a kick in the butt to get going? We'll go the other route.
There are always some of those, but not many.
Yeah.
I've got an exceptional team, great group of seniors. We know we have the best culture out there. You know, culture used to be team chemistry 10 or 12 years ago. Now it's culture. In 10 more years, it's going to be how much do you care about each other and how well do you take care of each other? Because it's all the same thing. Do you care about somebody that's going to take your position in football? Do you still try to help them? Do we do that? And yes, we do. We broke them up into groups early in the year and asked them, what did they want to be known for this year? And it was, number 1 thing was taking care of each other. Number 2 thing was being great racers. But honestly, I give them something to do in practice, and they do it faster than I ask them to do it. And I say this kiddingly, but it's true. They make me look better than I am. Because I haven't got any magic. The magic is in them.
How's the personality of this team different? Maybe some of the others you have.
I don't believe our personality is different, at least not in the last 6 to 8 years. We have been I want to say funny, but they think they've got a good sense of humor, and I think I'm getting funnier as I get older. So those both go together with very well, because this is a hard sport. I watch these guys some days in practice, and I think nobody in their right mind should choose this sport. And they don't. It chooses special people, because you've got to be to do this thing.
So who do you want to brag on? You got to give me a few names to brag on here.
I thought about that. If I do that, I'm going to leave out somebody. I have got my senior class was picked as the 5th best class coming out of high school. As of their freshman year at the NCAAs, all the way through, they have been the best class. My junior class was ranked 12th. and they have moved way up. My sophomore class was ranked 4th, and they're doing very well. This freshman class is ranked 1st, and they are crazy good.
Who specifically? You're talking about popularity. This is your chance to publicize.
All I have to do in my mind is to leave out somebody, and
How many swimmers do you have?
I've got 36 on the roster.
Okay, so if you mention 3, 33 aren't picked off.
Nobody's going to feel bad. I'm just worried about me.
Hey, you're bringing Tate in here, right?
What?
Yeah, he's on later.
Who's coming in?
Tate Jackson.
Okay. Tate.
Is that good?
Tate has gotten into the hilarious category this year.
Oh, really?
Tate is the fastest improving 100-man in the country, both in the Olympic distance, 100 meters, and in short course yards. And there's no sprinter in the country that works as hard as he does. And that's why he's getting better. Key to our sport is, if you want to beat somebody, you got to outwork them. Or you got to work harder in the weight room. I'll never forget one year Garrett Weber-Gale wanted to win the 100 freestyle. I said, Garrett, win is a hard thing to do. Let's shoot for a time that'll give you a good shot at winning. Back then, I said, let's break 42 100 yards freestyle. So what can I do? I said, get to every practice, every dry land, every weights. And he did all of that. And then he did 300 push-ups Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, all year long. And he started at about 20 a set, got up to 50 a set. And he won the 100 free. I don't know if the push-ups helped him from the neck down or from the neck up. But the fact that he was willing to do that gave him an edge.
So does Tate do push-ups?
Tate works extra in the weight room. He loves the weight room. He texted me yesterday, can I lift today? We don't lift Monday before the meet. I put that in a different tense for him. I just said no. Because one of my favorite country songs is, what part of no don't you understand?